more freaking craziness in computer land. Yeah, it was really
going live.
Really a pain when I was downloading the image for the artwork. For some reason, our site is only kicking out WebP images now when you download it. It's like, what? There's got no programs that manage WebP images. Are you
WebP images?
Aren't you paying attention to the internet? And the shit that Mayana made about the big deal about WebP? It's a new image format that Google's been forcing down everybody's throat.
Yeah, I didn't catch everything you said because the video started playing with sound, so all I heard was WebP images.
Oh, well, you got to stop the video from playing with sound.
I was doing that, but you'd already said all the words I needed to hear in order to understand what the context of WebP images was.
Well, WebP images, man, they're the new image format that Google's cramming down everybody's throat that no program reads natively.
Yeah, I really don't like the WebP image idea.
No, and it's a real pain. I kept downloading the WebP image. It's like, no, I need a freaking JPEG to do my work here, you stupid thing. And the JPEG exists, but for some reason, the website only wants to kick out a WebP. It's like, what did WordPress do in the background?
That's not fun.
No. Keep changing crap, man. It's really getting really irritating. They're changing. Oh, this is a cool new format. Let's just do it because it's cool. Because it actually works. Oh, well.
Oh, they're beta testing. They're always beta testing. They say that they're done the beta testing when they roll it out, but really, the rolling out is just the major beta testing.
No, the internet has been on beta testing since it came into existence.
Yep.
Although they used to ship programs as they were more functional, and that's why the reason they made programs so that they worked before they shipped them out was it actually cost them money to ship them before, because they had to put them on CDs and everything else to ship them. And if they shipped something out that didn't work, it cost them thousands, tens of millions of dollars. Now, because it's all digitally delivered, it costs them nothing.
But there's also the factor of everybody's in a rush to get everything, so there isn't nearly as much quality control before things are rolled out now, because it's all about getting it kicked off the line in a timely manner rather than making sure that it has decent quality control.
Yep.
And that's another major factor too, is people are pushed to go so fast.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, most everything is here and working, and unbelievable how things can change without changing anything.
Yeah, you sound like you're kind of fuzzy and underwater to me, but I can deal with that, as long as it's not going through to the stream.
It didn't sound like it was when I listened to it, but... Oh, I see why. It changed here again. Talking 1, 2... Talking 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3... Talking 1, 2, 3... How's that? Better?
That's a lot better. What'd you do?
I changed the voice settings in Discord. It decided it didn't like the settings I'd chosen that worked well, and it decided that it wanted to switch to something else.
Oh, how nice of them.
Well, that's the same with Microsoft. Yeah, it's the same with Microsoft. Keep changing my settings. It's like you realize I make these things for a reason, Microsoft. No, we don't care. We don't really care, man. None of these programs care anymore. We know better than you. We know exactly what you need.
I think I thought the perfect analogy. A hyperactive, sugar-filled child in a room full of buttons.
Oh, okay. Well, that's as good as any. Well, at least I made another batch of salsa this morning. I'm good.
Nice. Apparently, I'm a little echoey, but not disturbingly so.
No, I have no idea how to fix that, because you're coming through loud and clear for me, even if it is only in my right channel, because my headphones have decided that the left channel no longer wants to work, and I don't have another set of headphones.
I had no idea the two sides of headphones were called channels. I just, always saw them as left and right.
Well, it is left and right. Left channel, right channel.
Where does the channel come from, though? Why call it side channels?
It comes from the sound industry because you're sending music down a pipeline or a channel. You're sending stuff down a channel.
Oh.
Left and right channel. There's also when they lay down a song, they lay down the vocals on one channel, the drums on another channel, the guitars on another channel, and everything is laid down on separate channels.
Well, I knew that.
And then they can mix it up.
Thinking of channels for recording seems very different from thinking of headphones as a channel on either side. But I guess it's really not all that different, is it?
It's not exactly the same.
It just seems so different until you think about it.
Left and right channels. Alrighty. Peoples are here.
Yay!
We're going to have a show.
Always good to have company during our show.
This will probably bring up the show notes. I should have show notes for a show.
Usually is a good idea.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it works. And it's either going to work or it's not going to work. One of the two.
And we have a listener question today.
Yay for listener questions. Alrighty. You want to know how often you touch your eyes during the day? Chop up hot peppers. You'll find out real quick how often you touch your eyes.
I was just gonna say put some blue paint on your fingers and see how long it takes to get before you get blue all around your eyes.
Well,
Hi, Hamdi, and good to see you. Glad you can make it to the show.
Hot peppers does the trick real quick. You find out what it's like to be sprayed with pepper spray.
That just sounds terrible. I think putting grease or dye on somebody's fingers would be a lot more entertaining.
Oh, it would be entertaining. That'll show you how much they've actually just touched their face. Because we touch our face a lot, but we don't always dig into our eyes, And I realized that after I'd gotten my hot sauce, washed my hands thoroughly, of course, but it's never thorough enough to wash off the hot pepper stuff. And I was sitting down, and all of a sudden I reached up, hit my eye, and oh crap! I did it again. 5 minutes of pain while the eyeball adjusts to the pepper. It wasn't like I was chopping up mild peppers. I was chopping up Carolina Reaper. I was chopping up ghost peppers and pencil hots and jalapenos and
all the super spicy stuff.
All the really spicy peppers.
Mark Rover on YouTube did that, and it showed how far along the chain germs will go. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Although they die on a hard surface for that thing to live on after a while, don't they?
Yeah, there's nothing for them to eat.
I remember when I was working on cars and doing welding, I found out really fast where I touched my face the most. The place I touched my face the most is my forehead and my nose.
Mm-hmm.
So I always had a very dirty nose and a dirty forehead.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Looked like I was nuzzling cars.
Yeah, well, you might have been for all we know.
Well, sometimes you just gotta get your face right in there to undo the nuts and screws.
Yep. There's up to 5 channels for surround sound. Actually, some of them go up to 8 channels for surround sound.
Ooh.
I think. It's been a while since I was an audiophobe years ago, and then I'm only partially audiophobe now, and I just don't worry too much about it. Oh, it is time. It's time for some music to carry us to the show.
All right.
don't even have my own. In search for glory, going with them sacred rules of old. They went missing down Highway 49. Devil at crossroads, sitting doing time. Preacher man discovered, passed them from stage to stage, like a kind-hearted lover who's been lost on this stage. We're missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. God answer, not saying they're right or wrong. I ain't no Texan dancer, we'll move it right along. Went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Junkie and the jigger, the scene who done the crime. Captain made the trigger, guess who's coming down? Oh. Choppy and quiet, huh? Oh, well, that kind of sucks. Let's see what we got here. Don't claim to know your story, don't even have my own. Yeah, I search for glory, go with them sacred rules of old. We're missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Devil's at the crossroads, joker doing fine. Just sitting doing time. Oh, that's not good. That's no good. There we go. Ooh, what did I do? What did I do? Hello. No, that's not good. Hello. No, what the hell did I do? How about now? No. Oops. I changed this one. There we go. Holy crap. Nope, that's it. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Holy crap. Wow, did I fuck that up.
Kind of put me in mind of all the drug trips that you see in movies.
That's pretty much what it was. That was like a massive drug trip. It's like, whoa, okay. That didn't help the music at all. That just made things a hell of a lot freaking worse.
Oh, it was entertaining.
Yeah, well, entertainment's my goal. That's my main goal. Always entertainment.
Your alter ego says, now mark that button so you know for next time.
Oh, I'll remember. Maybe. If
So
I
you
try.
say.
Yeah, well, I keep trying to do things here to make it sound better. And for some reason, what used to always work for me doesn't work anymore because everything keeps getting changed. I may have to rebuild a new computer and start from scratch. Then I can get everything working right.
Makes sense. If you build it up from scratch, you know exactly how everything is set up and put together.
Well, I've done that, and it works beautiful for about 6 months to a year, and then somebody comes along and updates shit, changes the programs, and it doesn't work anymore, and I can never get it back. That's probably why Adam Curry's constantly rebuilding his system.
I don't like trying to get the exact same color in a paint palette twice.
All right, well, that's good enough. I guess we've had our music, we've had our drug trip entertainment. I guess it's showtime. Let's get this show on the road. Off we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for WordPress plugins. A to Z. Not Z.
All right, Unscrambling WordPress plugins. It's episode 569, and we have plugins for WhereUsed, Categorizing, Notes for Woo, Templatedly, Exchanging Rates, Queerifying, and ClassicPress options, all coming up on WordPress plugins from A to Z. WordPress. It's the most popular content management and website solution on the internet. And with over 80,000 plugins to choose from, how do you separate the junk from the gem? Join us for a weekly, unrehearsed conversation about the latest and greatest in WordPress plugins. This is WordPress plugins from A to Z. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be hiding out there on the globe today. Coming to you direct from the oasis deep in the heart of the Cowichan Valley. I'm John Overall, and with me is the ever lovely
Amber Overall.
And this is WP Plugins A to Z. It is a value for value show, and I look forward to everyone providing some value back. And don't forget, before we go too far down the road here, you want to hang around for the end of the show, the Q&A segment with Amber, which is always entertaining, loads of fun. For those listening on the podcast, you will want to check out the YouTube version, which has some great discussions before, after, and some drug-tripping entertainment. Just all kinds of fun stuff with audio. At any rate, check it all out, and you also get the second half of the Q&A segment. With all of that being said, I guess...
Thank you for sharing, John. Now get down from that soapbox.
And Hemdian said you could just rename the show Random Sound Effects from A to Z. Then you to go.
That's tempting, man. That's tempting. We'll just play random sound effects for half an hour. That would be about the audience we've got these days anyway.
So this is number 28 of 52 episodes for 2022. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and the trees are getting extra friendly with my face. Allergies suck. Although, luckily, there's a lot you can do for allergies these days, so that's a bonus. But still sucks because eventually the meds wear off, and then you have to deal with the ickiness again. Hopefully everyone out there is getting outside and getting that beautiful sunshine while it's here. It was late getting to us this year, so be sure to get out there for some extra hours this summer to make up for the lack that we had at the beginning of summer. And remember, be a kid. More fun that way.
Absolutely. All right.
Please, can everybody be quiet? Please be quiet. Shut up! Thank you. And now the WordPress news with John.
No, whatever.
So first up this week, we have is the WordPress vulnerability report.
It says vulnerability report, though, in the notes. I was thinking, what the hell is a vulnerability report?
Yeah, it's vulnerability report.
Well, C and V are both next to each other on the keyboard, so I'll forgive that one.
Would you be able to share your screen with me?
I would be able to.
Thank you.
keep going.
So we have a nice list of plugins to pay attention to this week. It's not a super long list, but it's not a super short list either. Some of the ones that are short code for current date, copyright proof, WordPress up, and project source code download. There are more, so make sure you go and have a look at the plugins. There's no themes or anything to worry about this week. Said, when plagued with allergies, just drink more alcohol. It won't fix the symptoms, but drink enough, you won't care.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And next up, we have WordPress themes team contributors got pushback on proposal to improve block themes visibility in directory. So this is one of the ideas that the team put forth about 7 weeks ago. Possibility of changing the popular themes algorithm to more prominently feature block themes and or adding a new block menu item next to the popular and latest on themes directory team. So one of the things that was brought up about this is that the 94 available block themes represent fewer than 1% of the directory's 9,761 themes. And a good point made by one of the contributors is that to add a block tab to the theme directory filter, that will bring up the full site editing tag themes as well, causing more confusion than it would be helping. This is an ongoing issue. They have more ideas in here that they're getting some serious pushback on in this article. So if you want to know more about this, you need to go and read the article, catch yourself up.
Sounds good if you're following all the block theme stuff, because block themes are becoming more and more popular.
Well, this one is not just about the block theme. Like, they want to put a specialized tab up there in the directory, right? But if they do that, then they're trying to make it for block theme, but a lot of the full site rebuild themes are going to end up pulled into it as well because they're put under block as well because they have blocks in them. Well, so it's just going to create a whole crazy amount of confusion.
Oh, that's because they didn't name it very well.
Yeah. Next up, we have WordPress Executive Director says 5% in 5 for the Future program is aspirational and not required. So the director here was responding to a public criticism where the 5 for the Future's true intentions was called toxic scorekeeping. This isn't required, this 5%, though everyone who does put in gets a point, and those points are being collected and shoved into people's noses. And this is actually quite entertaining and interesting conversation to follow.
Yeah. Well, this has been an ongoing thing ever since they introduced their 5 for 5 several years ago.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I gathered that just from reading this one article. You get like a whole lot of background on this. It's great.
Yeah, well, it's been very entertaining, and of course, there's companies that have done lots of stuff. It's like, you know, I consider what we do as our 5% back every week. You know, we put in the effort to contribute back to the community. There's lots of ways to contribute back to the WordPress community. One is by helping people by, you know, presenting plugins in a podcast. Another is if you can pay a coder to do some additional coding or to create a plugin that you share on the repository. So the 5 for 5, they codified a number in it, which to me was silly because the community was doing that anyway, but somebody decided to come along and codify it into numbers.
Maybe they didn't get enough high fives as a child.
Well, they might not have, you know, or maybe they didn't get enough. Everybody went to wear ribbon too. Who knows?
So next up, we have Gutenberg 13.6 adds pattern modal support for custom post types, expands creation of template types. So what this addition means is that when users create new content within a custom post type, they will have the ability to display patterns in a modal or model, I'm not sure how you pronounce that one, when a user creates a new page. Essentially, it's a memory block from what I gather. So you make it, you save it, you can use it anywhere else. I know that they said they've brought this forward a couple times, but from what I understand, it didn't quite work out. Hopefully it'll work out this time.
We'll see.
And next we have, this is just entertaining. These emojis don't mean what you think they mean. Oh, wait, I skipped one. Hang on.
You do that regularly.
Gutenberg Times to showcase the Pew Research Center's Block First approach in a live Q&A on July 22nd, 2022. So Gutenberg Times will be hosting representatives from the Pew Research Center in its live Q&A session on July 22nd, 2022 with co-hosts Birgit Polly Hack and Anne McCarthy. And for those who follow these, should be interesting because apparently they haven't done much for the last 8 months.
Okay.
Oh, Mode L. Yeah, that makes sense. Hendian said he thinks it's pronounced Mode L.
I always called it modal. I always called it just
Looks like
modal.
it should be like modal or something.
Modal is what I've always called as modal. So take your pick. There's multiple ways to do that. But
Right,
modal makes
emoji.
sense. Yep.
So a survey completed regarding emojis and their meaning, according to various people, showed that not a lot of people really agree on what various emojis mean. For instance, the eyes looking down to the left emoji, 36 people said it means I see you, while 26 said it means I want to gossip. And the money wings emoji was split between thinking it means loss of money, 28%, and an influx, 31% of money. Might want to rethink that emoji before you send the winky face. Some think it means being flirty, while others think it's referring to an inside joke or means I'm kidding. So
Yeah, well.
I just found that kind of entertaining.
Oh, well, you know. It's kind of like figuring out the Egyptian hieroglyphics, you know.
And then this last one here, this started happening this morning while I was just finishing off my news. Twitter outage. There's been a Twitter outage today showing some. We're getting the blue whale fail message.
The fail whale
still going on.
The
Yeah.
fail whale on Twitter, really? That hasn't been seen in a decade. Could be because Elon has trashed Twitter.
Well, I don't know if it's still going on right now.
No,
but
it's
it was
not.
going on
I
this
just
morning.
I just popped into Twitter. It seems to be showing up.
Oh, it's back on track.
No, well, maybe not. It's
Okay.
taking forever to load. It started loading. Now it's getting nothing. So maybe it's still failing.
Well, this morning at 7 o'clock, there was over 55,000 users
Oh,
who
there it
have
is.
reported that it's just not working.
Yeah.
And at the time I wrote this down, still no idea what was going on. They were trying to figure it out. I theorize it's probably something like what happened with Rogers this last Friday, where they tried to update something and it just failed.
Ah, well, you know, I figure it's Elon having a grand old time trashing Twitter.
Maybe that too. And then we have all the extras for, there's some hacker info, there's bleeping computers, there's all kinds of random stuff in here. Most of it is actually fairly useful this week.
Excellent. Lots of cool stuff to check out, folks.
It's time to donate to WP. Plug in. A to Z.
So this is where we like to brain fart. This show won't work without you, the producers. This is a value for value kind of show. This is where we like to thank our producers for throwing in their value. They find value in the show and they give it to they give the value back to us. My brain is just not working right now. Show producers. This is where we like to take time to thank everyone who supports the show. This week's show artwork is by Greg's Graphics, as usual. He's kind of our mascot at this point. He's always keeping us up on the art, and
He's
this week.
he's our art department, man.
He is. He's awesome. I'm so grateful for him.
So am I. Otherwise, I'd have to create the art, and I'm nowhere near as good at it.
This looks like the wiring outside of most of the houses on the island.
Yes, yes, I know. I looked at it, man. It's like it's a scrambled wiring mess. I know a couple places like that. The wiring in this house was like that when they first bought it.
Hembian said, "Is that pick your current streaming setup?"
Yeah, that's pretty much my current streaming setup too. Yes. Got wires coming and going. Don't even know where the hell they're at and what they're doing anymore. And some of them are just disconnected and they look like they're plugged in.
It might just be my imagination, but the little smiley plug-in feller, he looks kind of cocky.
Yeah, he does.
That's what it looks like to me there.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great logo that was created by a listener way back about 5-6 years ago. That was submitted by a fan of the show. Because I had a completely different logo when I started.
Well, the listener definitely saved you because this one was way better.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Greg. This is awesome. I really hope we don't burn you out.
Well, I really hope so too.
And if anybody is interested in donating some artwork themselves, they can go to wpplugins.com/artwork, and you can go check it out. Just look at show art submitted.
Yep. You can see all the show art that's submitted. We have tons of it there.
And we have our show executive producers who are the ones coming in with a donation of 50 or more. Unfortunately, we don't have any this week, but we do have our regular backroom producers who are a huge part in keeping this show going. For instance, Greg's Graphics. He is one of our regular backroom producers who's always throwing in work and helping us keep this going. There's all kinds of backroom producers. There's ones who help us out with the show by sending in notes or questions, by sending in art, or by helping out with the contest. There's all kinds of work that's being done in the back room where nobody really sees you. Big thank you to all the producers out there. We could not do the show without you. Please remember to support the show with your time, talent, or treasure. Treasure is always appreciated. We need a definition of ways to donate in those various ways, time, talent, or treasure. Please check out our show notes and you can see wonderful definitions.
Absolutely.
Or you can send something in to us through snail mail.
Yep.
That you'll find that address in our show notes as well.
Very good. All right, let's get on to the part that everyone shows up for the show for. Talking about the plugins. We got plugins for you this week. We have no ClassicPress news, but we do have plugins for WordPress. First off, right out the gate for me, I have for you a plugin called WhereUsed. This one here I thought was a very useful plugin. It'll help you decide where things are being used on your website, detecting where your images, attachments, links, Gutenberg custom blocks, iframe, shortcodes are coming soon to the plugin, and more. It'll search your post meta, taxonomy, terms, all these places. It's a great way to find out, am I using this image anymore on this website, or is it something I uploaded as a bunch of extra images and I didn't actually use it, sort of a way to help clean up your website and get things rolling along. Another great tool for it, you can discover broken links, redirects, unused, reusable blocks, and more. So anyway, it's a relatively new plugin, something to go check out. It is called WhereUsed, and I give it a 4 dragon rating.
Yeah, I was thinking about bringing that one to the show because it does look very useful. First one I have today is Templately. It's a weird name, but I've been using it a lot as I'm playing around in my sandbox. And this is a pretty cool plugin. It's designed to offer up templates for WordPress. It mentions Elementor and Gutenberg as being compatible, but it also says and more, though I could not find a list to tell me everything it's compatible with. It's a great page builder, and like I said, I've been using it. I know for a fact that it works really well. I'm just using the free version, and it's excellent. You do have to go and create an account with them on their site in order to gain access to the templates. So once you have signed up for free, you have access to all the free version templates. And in the free version, you have access to hundreds of templates scattered throughout pages, landing pages, posts, headers, footers, all the bits you need to build your entire site. And you can also save the templates that you create into your own cloud that is located in your account on their site.
Very cool.
In the pro version, you have access to hundreds more, so it may actually be worth it because some of their templates are really funky looking. I like them. Definitely worth taking the time to check this one out. I rate it at 4 dragons.
Very cool. All right. The next one I have for you is Categorize Pages. Now, everyone's familiar with categorizing your posts, and it's a very useful thing to do. And I haven't seen. There used to be a plugin. I probably reviewed it years ago. There was ways to put categories in for your pages, because sometimes you do need to categorize your pages because you build a website sometimes and you create lots of pages, and it'd be useful to categorize them up to make them easier to find or to bring them all together on a single page of listing. All sorts of great uses. Well, what this plugin does for you is it allows you to categorize your pages up just as you do with the posts. It adds the categories taxonomy to the page to the page post type, and it enables the tags for the meta box, and it also sets you up to find them in the feed. The plugin's got no settings and it doesn't change your database. It just uses the standard WordPress stuff to create it all up. So this is a very useful tool if you've got lots of pages and you need to categorize them up. So anyway, go check this out. It is Categorize Pages, and I give it a 4 dragon rating.
You know, I just thought of another use for that plugin. Since I've been making videos, and I'm making videos of various plugins that auto create a whole bunch of pages for you. That'd be very useful to be able to categorize the pages from each plugin so that you know which pages it created for when you create the help videos.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. I definitely have to grab that one. Next up, I have exchange rates. This is a pretty cool plugin. Once installed, you will find the dashboard under Settings on your left-hand menu. Here you will see options for which source to use for your currency exchange, what kind of formatting you want, like whether there's a comma in the amount, how many decimals you want to go, and how many of the 122 countries you want to show the exchange rate for. And that's just 122 countries that was available on the first option. They have like 4 or 5 options that you can pull from. I didn't check them all out because I forgot to, but 122 countries is a pretty generous amount. There are a few more options, like what color background behind each currency exchange, what shape the flags will be in, whether the symbol for a currency is shown, etc. And what you do is you set up all of your options. You highlight all of the different countries you want to have shown on your site. And then you hit a generate button at the bottom and you get a shortcode. And then you put that shortcode into any page you want and it will show everything as you have it set up. It's really cool. You can generate however many shortcodes you want because every time that you refresh that page, that shortcode is gone. So you need to create all over again, which I guess that could be irritating. Make sure you have a copy of the shortcodes that you like using. But yeah, I think this is a pretty awesome little freebie, and I rate it at 5 dragons.
Oh, very, very cool. There we go. All right, the final one I have for you today is product notes for WooCommerce. And this one here helps you to organize up your products in your WooCommerce website a little bit by adding notes that can be added for public or private consumption. You know, maybe you've got some notes you need to know about a product, why it's in there, or you've got people that manage stuff on your site and they need to know why a product is done a certain way or whatever. Or you want some additional notes for when people pop in to view your products, they can see these notes and you have additional notes into the products. So it's a really useful tool to help enhance your website. I'm slowly starting to integrate this into my site for the Rogues Oasis as I get that store built out and more fully functional for people to buy great products like the hot sauce I just created. At any rate, really useful tool. Go check it out. It's product notes for WooCommerce, and I give it a 4 dragon rating.
A hot sauce that you burned your eyeballs with?
Yep. No, I didn't burn my eyeballs with a hot sauce. I burnt them with the residual that was on my hands from chopping peppers.
Okay. Still.
Big difference. You know, it's the hot stuff. Yeah. Well, the hot sauce I created last night contains lots of ghost pepper in it.
Ha. The last one I have today is called Queerify. And I thought this was like a really fun plugin, total freebie, supposed to make your site full of neon rainbows. Although I don't think there's actually a Nyan cat, I was kind of sad about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really excited. I love rainbows and all that fun stuff. And there's 12 different gender identities to choose from, each with their own flag, including I'm a star. Unfortunately, though, once I put it into my site, there was no picture. It didn't actually break my site. It just made all of the site imagery go away. So the plugin is a few years old. It doesn't look like it's been updated for a bit. I was hoping that the code would still be good, but unfortunately it seems they abandoned it and it needs some fixing and it just hasn't happened. Which sucks, but because it just kind of turns everything white, although you can still see your header, I rate it at 1 dragon.
Oh, that's so sad.
It is. I was looking forward to having a rainbow flag with hopefully a Nyan cat flying across my screen.
Yeah. Okay,
Nyan cat
dokie.
is cool, man, like bow ties.
Alrighty. Well, looks like we have a listener question. Take her away.
Hi, Amber and John. I am working on my website, and there are so many themes to choose from. I know you've talked about how to choose in the past. Do you know if they have come up with a make your own theme type thing where you can choose elements from different themes to make the perfect one for me? Thanks for your help. You guys have helped me learn a lot. Avid listener.
You gonna take that?
Nope,
You-
I'm going to let you because you're the one who gets asked all the questions.
It said Amber and John. It was addressed to you. I was secondary in that.
Amber and John.
Yeah, I was secondary in that. All right. Well, you want something that is crazy and you can build yourself. You need a page builder like Elementor. Then you can pick and choose what you want for each individual page and post. That's the only way. There, you can't blend. Well, you can blend themes together if you have lots of money and time. I've done it in the past, but it's not very effective, and it turns out to be a nightmare you really don't want to deal with down the road. I suggest a page builder such as Elementor to do that, because then you can create all sorts of different stuff on page and different pages or posts or however you want to do it.
One of the things you can also do is once you choose your theme, you can also add in plugins like, for instance, Templatey, which gives you a whole bunch more options so you can take it and develop it into something completely different.
Yeah, but Templatey wouldn't work if you didn't have a theme builder or a page builder.
True. That is true. You need a page builder like Elementor.
So you're still back to the same. Part there. You need a page builder to do it.
Astra and Elementor are my favorites right now.
Astra, yeah, Astra's pretty decent. That's what I built out the Oasis website with, was Astra and Elementor.
I like those two. I mean, that's honestly it's what I started with, but at the same time, I haven't really found anything better.
Yeah. Alrighty. Onwards, forwards, wagons ho!
There is no contest right now. We are just we haven't had the time. We are working on it. Unfortunately, I don't think that Charlie, who is helping us with the contest, I don't think he's been able to find the time in his busy life to help us out. So we're trying to figure out the time ourselves. We haven't quite gotten there yet, but thank you everyone who has helped us. And if anyone is interested in helping us out with the contest, let us know. We'll tell you what we need.
Absolutely. Reach out to us. We could use your help. All right.
The plugins we covered were...
I covered up WhereUsed, which I gave a 4 to. Categorize pages, which I gave a 4 to. Product notes for WooCommerce, which I gave a 4 to.
And I covered Templately, which I rated at 4. Exchange rates, which I rated at 5. And Queerify, which I unfortunately rated at 1.
All right, and a couple of quick reminders before we kick off into the Q&A segment. There isn't a possibility of a meetup happening again in August. I haven't analyzed my calendar to figure out what's going to be a good Saturday for it, but we're going to try to have another one up here. Other than that, the last meetup on June 25th, June 25th, it was a total hit. So for those that would have liked to attend it, well, we're sorry we missed you, but maybe the next one. And also, if you'd like to be on an interview show, you can still reach out to me at wpplugins.com/interview. And if you have plugin suggestions, plugins you would like to see reviewed on the show, just go submit them at wpplugins.com/submit plugin review. With all of that, let's wander into
It's question and answer time.
what, Amber?
Before I start asking my questions, if anybody out there has any questions they'd like to have asked here on the show, send in the questions to me at amber@wppro.ca, and I will get them up here. We'll see if we can stump my dad. My first question for you is, how do shortcodes work?
They don't. They're too short. No, okay. How they work is you have to register your shortcode in one of the following ways: functions file, or usually it's in the functions file for the theme. You can use a plugin which will create the illusion of that will allow you to create shortcodes. But what they do is you create a function in the functions file, a piece of code that says, if I see this piece of code or this piece of text wrapped in brackets anywhere in the text content of a WordPress post or page, then I have to go find this particular function somewhere over here and then display this information that this function refers to. That's how they work in jumbled computerese. How they work in simplicity is they take a complex problem that you need done, such as displaying a large chunk of information, and allow you to, instead of to display that in multiple places on a website, simply by going in and entering a shortcode that says, do this crazy work now, wrapped by brackets, and whenever it sees do this crazy work now, it will display that 5-page printout of whatever information you wanted. And that's how shortcodes work. I know I'm not explaining it very clearly, but I know how they work because I've written shortcodes and done them into websites.
Makes sense to me. Actually, I got an image of, it's just a plug. You put the plug into the wall, it pulls from a power source, and that power source goes through the cord, and then you get the same amount of power at the other end of the cord.
That's a very good analogy to it. But that's what shortcodes do. Shortcodes are just a simple way of placing one line of information in a post or a page to draw in large chunks of information from somewhere else, some already predefined information.
Makes sense.
And that predefined information is predefined in multiple places throughout a theme. And shortcodes are usually tied to a theme unless you're using a plugin that creates shortcodes. Like we have a plugin on WordPress on WP Plugins A to Z that is a shortcode creator plugin that we've used for years. We use it to display all kinds of useful information in the site, but you can go in there and rewrite it, and it allows you to create shortcodes out of JavaScript, jQuery, HTML, and plain text. So, and then display that
one is really useful.
And then display that information somewhere on your website by just popping in a shortcode for that information.
My next question for you is, when making internal links, do you need to take the whole URL from the page you are linking to, or can you just take part of it?
You can take just part of it. Everything after the domain name is what you need.
Why?
Because WordPress defaults to assuming if it only sees everything after a domain, it looks for that stuff under your current domain of your website.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, if WordPress doesn't see a domain in front of a link you've created, it assumes it's the domain of your website. And if the page doesn't exist, it'll give you an error. But it also, another little trick in WordPress, it's like you hear it from us all the time when I say submit plugin. Well, that's not the URL for the website, but WordPress is smart enough now to where if you type in a single key phrase, it'll go see if there's a page that has that information in the link, and it'll kick that page out. If there's multiple pages, sometimes it'll kick back an error, but sometimes it'll kick back a options page that said, well, did you mean one of these pages? So So
Some
that,
sites have better search engines than others.
yeah, well, that's true. But it's like I just know from experience of what you can get away with and what it does.
So I have 2 more questions. I'll read them out and then we can do the song. First, what's better, having your site background colored, having your site background either black or white or off-white? And do you think it's possible to use neon colors in a site and still have the site look good?
Dear God. Okay, those will be very, very entertaining. Hopefully people can hear the end of show outro, and after we get back from the end of show outro, we will answer those 2 questions. So make sure you go check out the YouTube version for the rest of it.
Reminders for the show. All show notes can be found at wpplugins.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the newsletter for more useful information delivered directly to your inbox. WP Plugins A to Z is a show that offers honest and unbiased reviews of plugins created by developers because you support the show. Help keep the show honest and unbiased by going to wppluginsa2z.com/donate and set the donation level that fits your budget. Help us make the show better for you by subscribing and reviewing the show at Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and in the iTunes Store. You can also leave us a review on our Facebook page using wppluginsa2z.com/Facebook. You can also watch the show live on YouTube, check out the screencast, and training videos, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications of all new videos. Follow the show on Twitter at WPPluginsA2Z. John can also be reached at his website, johnoverall.com, or email him directly, john@wppro.ca. Thanks for joining us, and have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the show. This show is copyright by johnoverall.com. So until next time, have yourselves a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be out there on the globe today. Alrighty, I'm going to try something here real quick to see if the sounds will change.
Okay.
Because I realize there's another place that shit's not seeming to work right. Let's go see
Squirrel!
if people can hear.
I heard that.
Well, you hear it. We're talking about the YouTube folks out there. Let's see if they can hear because they said they only heard the 2 rating. How about a dragon roar? There's a dragon roar. Did they hear that?
You play it?
What's it?
Did you play the Dragon Roar?
Yeah, you didn't hear it?
No.
You
But
could-
for some reason, I rarely hear the Dragon Roar.
Okay, you're not hearing it.
Also, you just said dragon.
They heard it.
Oh, dragon. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
And Hendian heard the squirrel.
Yeah, Hendian heard the squirrel. Okay, because he said no sounds were coming through except for
Yeah.
the occasional one. Because I just changed the output setting for the soundboard. It seems it was going to something that wasn't even listed.
Squirrel and dragon have been heard.
Okay, well, we'll leave it like that for a while and see how that goes. All right. Okay, so back to your crazy ass questions here. What's better, having your site background colored or having your site background either black or white off-white? Well, throughout the years, people have tried, I've tried coloring backgrounds. Turns out it's very, very hard on people's eyes. You lose people really fast. You need either black with white text for those who like their night vision stuff, or white with black text, or off-white. Never go with its background colors. If you're going to use background colors, they need to be very subtle and very off the page, not where there's text being read. And it's probably due because, of course, for, a couple of centuries, we've had books printed, black on white. always black on white, even ink or blue on white. You know, black or blue were the main ink colors, with red being thrown in to tell you you've screwed everything up. But yeah, it's better to have it. If you're trying to get people to stay on your site and read it, you need to have it easy on the eyes. And you got to have the contrasts of colors, the text versus the background, so that people don't have to strain to read.
Yeah, I've noticed on a few of the sites that I've seen, they don't have white or black. They have like a purple, but it's such a light colored purple. It's almost see-through. And the writing is very easy to see, but only because the writing is black.
Yeah, well, the writing still has to be black, but you can get away with background colors, but it's hard to get it right. I mean, I've done it, and I've never been fully happy with it, but I did it because that's what the client wanted. But for the most part, even my websites where I've experimented, I always ended up going back to black text on white background. You know, simply for ease of use and to make sure it can be read. So
I've been experimenting on my sandbox.
yeah,
I thought it would look awesome. It does not.
not so much. And do you think it's possible to use neon colors on a site and have it look good? Well, no. They've been trying that since the beginning of the internet. I mean, somewhere out there on the internet, no, I think I finally pulled it down, was my first couple of websites that I built with all the spinny stuff and flashing text and neon this, and because, you know, it was all brand new, and it's like the first time you publish a newspaper, you see how many fonts you can shove into a 14-page newspaper. You know, and it turns out that it's unreadable and nobody likes it, and it's entertaining, like watching the clown walk down the street. You watch him for about 2 minutes and you say, okay, that's enough of that. And that's really all it is. So if you want to make money or you want people to pay attention to you, no, it's not a good idea, or it's not possible to have neon colors on a site and have it look good.
Well,
Now,
we have neon colors on our site just for giveaway, though.
yeah.
So I was thinking, like, maybe you could have neon colors as an accent.
Well, you can use it like we do for giveaway because it draws attention to it. You can use them for one-off items. You can't. The way this read was to use them on a site and have it look good. You know, that's thinking that somebody's going to put neon colors in their header or their headlines or stripes running down the side or some other crazy shit. You know, to use it for an occasional item here and there that you're trying to draw attention to, yes, it works. It works for
We got a couple of comments.
Mm-hmm.
Your alter ego said, like, food jars, dark back color, and then black writing so you can hardly read. And then Hembian says, for backgrounds, you want good contrast, but maybe not extreme contrast. Also, non-white background can have issues if printed.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, there's that problem too. Yeah, you got to have good contrast, and you can't have it too strong. And it's a balance. It's a balance, and oftentimes black on white gives you the best contrast. Sometimes you have to lower the darkness of the text if you choose the wrong white. But having a soft white and black text generally works well.
Go for a clean, professional look if you want to be taken seriously.
Yep.
And even if fun sites should be taken seriously.
Yep.
Makes sense. I've also noticed that, like, having a almost yellowy white background where it looks like old paper, that seems to work really well for people's eyes too.
Well, we did that. We did that for a client site.
Where I got the idea from.
Yeah, because you know but if you remember, the text on that wasn't pure black. It was a shade of black on that. You know, so we've done that, and it turned out looking very good. But you have to spend some time getting the color balance right and the contrast right. So.
Yeah, it takes a while. Definitely a rabbit hole you can fall down for hours if you're having fun experimenting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. So loads of fun. All right, well, that's pretty much all we've got. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. Appreciate you for showing up, Hemdian. We always enjoy you. You always kick out some great stuff for us, even when I don't read the chat because it's never on the same screen that I need it to be on.
I squished a chat in right next to my notes. That way I can keep an eye on both.
Yeah, well, I don't because I have other things next to my notes that I got to monitor. I have all kinds of other crap being monitored here. All right, let's have a little music. Carry us on out of here, and we'll be back next week for another fun-filled, exciting episode of WP Plugins A to Z.
These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. A quarter after midnight, and I'm watching the wall. Sometimes I feel so uptight, I just can't sleep at all. Every day doing the same old thing, we're losing time. The weekend comes, we gotta have some fun and rewind. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. I feel the rope tightening, choking up our air. We need to grab some lightning. Friday's almost here. Caught in a web, we need to cut this thread. We're hanging by. Where is it said you have to be half dead to survive? These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder.
Alrighty, sorry the music's still choppy out there. One day I will get this all solved. I'm going to have to spend a couple hours at it. At any rate, that's all we got for you now. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.